Hello and welcome to Politics 101, Distance Learning 1. My name is Pam Martin and I'm in the Department of Politics and Geography. I just want to introduce myself to you before we start the class together. I have been a professor at Coastal Carolina University since 1999. I moved back to the United States from Ecuador, South America, where I was teaching at La Universidad San Francisco de Quito, Ecuador, which is the university that we have an exchange agreement with through Coastal Carolina as well. And with that exchange agreement, you can go to Ecuador for a semester or a year to study abroad. It's a country that has the Galapagos Islands, the Amazon, the coast, the Andes Mountains. It's a wonderful university, and I encourage you to look at it. You can pay our in-state tuition and study abroad there. So international relations for a very long time has been a very passionate part of my job at Coastal Carolina. So much so that over a number of years with my colleague Richard Collin, we co-authored the textbook that you are using for this class. So please know this class is near and dear to my heart. And I just thought I would tell you a little bit about myself. I study international relations broadly, international relations theory, but I also study environmental policy and global environmental governance, which really just sort of means I study sustainable development, how we can live with a good livelihood, good economics, but also clean environment, clean planet, and good quality of life. And within that, I look at concepts, for example, energy and oil extraction. And for a very long time, I have studied oil extraction in the Amazon. And so this is my own picture, actually my husband Bill's picture, when I was on a Fulbright Scholar Award in 2009 in Ecuador for 6 months researching a project in the Ecuadorian Amazon. And this is our trip down into the Amazon basin, and that really is a real rainbow. It was pretty amazing. But this is what the Amazon should look like, and so I was looking at projects that would not extract oil from these very precious spots of huge amounts of biodiversity, not just plant and animal, but also indigenous groups that are living there, some of whom have never been contacted by the outside. And so that's what the Amazon should look like. And that is a boat trip that we took down from Coca, which is a port town in the northern, actually central Ecuadorian Amazon, in the western Amazon, which is highly biodiverse. And we were going to some primary forest there, and that is the Napo River, which is a tributary of the Amazon. And that's again what the lushness should look like in the Amazon. Unfortunately, a lot of my research, though, looks like this, and that's an oil pit that was left behind by actually by Chevron Texaco and later Petroecuador. And if you can believe it, that black stuff is oil, and we were throwing rocks on top of it because it's so dense. It's a heavy crude oil, and what they do is they heat it up like that in order to have it go through, transverse through over 300 miles of pipelines that go over the Andes Mountains and out to the coast. And that's right in the middle of rainforest there, where that's people's drinking water supply as well. So you can imagine cancer rates are very high there. In fact, some of the highest in Latin America. So I look at the politics of how we as a planet use our energy and organize politically around these issues of motoring ourselves, our economy, yet not decreasing our quality of life. And I also, more recently, last year, had a sabbatical to study sustainable development in the Galapagos Islands off the coast of Ecuador as well. There you have our tropical penguin and the Galapagos turtle, and the level of endemism, meaning species that are only found there, is extremely high in the Galapagos. Of course, it's known for the theory, Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. And so here in the Galapagos, these are their marine iguanas, kind of cool looking iguanas that you swim with. They don't bother you, they're great. So looking at this little microcosm of over 16 islands and over 100 islets, of how they organize themselves politically to be able to protect the very first World Heritage Site we have on the planet, and the plants and animals there, but also how people can live there and live well and earn an income. And there's a lot of politics globally and locally that have to do with these issues. And so when humans get in the way, you see new development, new hotel on the right, and trash on the left, and a sea lion laying amongst it all. So um, there are obviously issues of what types of regulations and globally as a World Heritage Site, and how we organize, but also how we protect our oceans and our very precious, again, highly biodiverse and endemic areas of the planet. One of the issues there, oil is not only in the Amazon, but it's also being trucked to the Galapagos Islands to be able to fuel taxis on the islands, and boats and cruise ships, and power generators for people in hotels, etc. There's only about 30,000 people that live on 4 islands, which is actually quite a lot, given in the early 90s there was only 6,000 on 2 islands. On the island of San Cristobal, where our university partner, San Francisco, has a campus, there are about 6,000 people on San Cristobal Island. And that's a fuel truck. I took a picture of that last year. And why I love Coastal Carolina University. These are my awesome students, and we took a trip with the Dyer Institute for Leadership and Public Policy in my class last semester. But I love my students, I love working with students, and I think Coastal Carolina University is a great place to dovetail our academic interests with great teaching and learning experiences, and that's exactly what I hope this class will be for you. Thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to working with you.